Grade 9 Mathematics, Chapter 24 Probability. First video. Random experiments. What is meant by a random experiment? Random experiments have the following common characteristics. Let's see. The experiment can be repeated any number of times under the same conditions. All the possible outcomes of the experiment are known before the experiment is carried out. The outcome of the experiment cannot be stated with certainty before the experiment is carried out. When the experiment is repeated, a pattern cannot be recognized in the outcomes. It's so simple to identify a random experiment. We know all the possible outcomes before the experiment, and we can repeat the experiment any number of times under the same condition, but we can't state the certain outcome before the experiment, and we can't identify a pattern in the outcomes. Here you can see an example for the random experiments. Rolling an unbiased cubic die with its faces numbered from 1 to 6. Now we can check whether this is a random experiment. We know all the possible outcomes. What are the possible outcomes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. The outcome will be 1, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. But we don't know which one is the certain answer. And we can repeat this experiment in many number of times. And we can't identify a pattern. So, this is a random experiment. Tossing a coin. Actually, when we are playing cricket, we are tossing a coin. So, is this a random experiment? What are the possible outcomes? Head and tail. But we don't know which one is the certain outcome. And we can repeat the experiment in any number of times. And there is no any pattern in outcomes. Yeah, so this is a random experiment. Drawing a bead from a bag which contains 6 identical red beads and 4 blue beads. So what are the possible outcomes? There are beads in 2 colors and there are 10 beads in total. So we can't state the certain outcome. And we can repeat this experiment in any number of times and we can't identify a pattern in outcomes. So, this is a random experiment. Recording the number on which the indicator, which is fixed to the center of the disc, falls when it is spun and allowed to stop freely. What are the possible outcomes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. But we can't state the possible outcome and we can repeat this experiment and we can't identify a pattern in outcome. So this is a random experiment. Actually, we can do another experiment using same disk. We can record the color on which the indicator, which is fixed to the center of the disk, falls. And it's also a random experiment. Do the activity number 1.
To continue the lesson, you should watch the next video.